Okay, let's dive a little bit into Lula, what he said here. Hold on. The media here in Brazil is flipping the fuck out over that statement. Yeah, as far as I understand, oh, this is funny. This is weaponizing the Holocaust is always wrong, especially when it comes from a head of state. From what I understand, apparently people are very, very mad about Lula's statements on Israel in Brazil, and like the Bolsonaristas are using this as an opportunity to fucking shit on him and try to use this as a line of attack when they should be focusing on not getting prosecuted. But that's, besides the point, I guess. Yeah, Brazilian here today. 90 deputies started collecting signatures for Lula's impeachment. Brazil's president angers Israel after comparing the war in Gaza to the Holocaust. Even my tiny ass city's radio station reported on it negatively. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva drew the ire of Israeli authorities on Sunday after he compared Israel's actions to the war against Hamas to the Holocaust, in which Nazis killed 6 million Jews in a systematic roundup in Europe during World War II. I love the framing of this from the impartial New York Times, which literally openly goes, war against Hamas? Come on. It's like, this is the hidden premise here, is that, of course, it's not comparable, okay? Which, for the record, it's not. It is the Holocaust, by numbers, is obviously a far greater genocidal campaign in Nazi Germany. His comparison isn't to say, like, his comparison isn't akin to, like, minimizing the Holocaust, but instead saying that this is a historical wrong, that is a genocide. What is happening in the Gaza Strip with the Palestinian people has no parallel in other historical moments. For the record, as far as, like, not to be a actually nerd, okay, obviously there are plenty of other historical moments that can draw stark comparisons to what Israel is doing in Gaza, just like there are other historical comparisons that you can point to with respect to other, I mean, there's plenty of other genocides that you can look at, okay? It's like doing this, like, atrocity Olympics is never appropriate in general. It's always a touchy moment. Having said that, in the summit's opening speech on Saturday, he said it was necessary to condemn both the Hamas attacks against the Israeli civilians and Israel's disproportionate response. So even though he's doing the, condom hummus moment, even though he's got that in the bag, it's still not enough, because obviously the whole condemnation of Hamas is never really about, like, truly condemning Hamas, but instead it's more so just about, just shut the fuck up about Israel. Mind you, Bolsonaristas are very aligned with anti-Semitic theories like the international Jew and Jew globalism. However, they support Zionism. Exactly. But that same dynamic exists here in the United States of America, and Bolsonaristas are also, of course, famously, wannabe American hogs, as you guys know. So, that is another classic. It's the same exact principle with the evangelical Zionists in the United States of America, who personally believe that, like, at the top of the hour, there isn't a 3-minute ad break. You know what I mean? And they're wrong. There is a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. Obviously. Duh. And no, I'm not forgetting to run it. I'm running it now. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, even though it's late, for $5 or free with the Twitch Prime. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. Okay. So, as I was saying, evangelical Christian Zionists are some of the most rabid anti-Semites in this country. Bolsonaristas are also evangelical Christian Zionists for similar, in an almost identical vein. And yet here they are trying to weaponize any kind of sentiment directed towards Israel that is critical of Israel's genocidal campaign in Gaza with being anti-Semitic, the actual anti-Semitism. A quick reminder that Bolsonaristas are approved by the Evangelical Church, which also owns Brazil, all the major news networks. Yeah. Mr. Lula's statement outraged Israeli officials. The Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz said in a statement on social media in Hebrew that the remarks were shameful and egregious. He said that Brazil's ambassador will be called into his office on Monday for a reprimand, adding that no one will harm Israel's right to defend itself. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel echoed those sentiments in his own social media post, trivializing the Holocaust. Dude, there's nothing funnier than someone who has very officially trivialized the Holocaust. Benjamin Netanyahu, who has engaged in Holocaust revisionism. And that's not just my assessment of the matter. That is the assessment of many scholars of the Holocaust. And he was roundly criticized for doing this as he laid the blame away from Adolf fucking Hitler for the Holocaust in an effort to say, no, it was actually the Palestinians that gave Hitler the idea for the final solution. Look at the Palestinian Mufti. Mind-boggling to me that he's over here talking about how other people are trivializing the Holocaust to try to harm the Jewish people and Israel's right to defend itself. And is crossing a red line. God, I'm sorry. I fucking, obviously, everyone here hates Netanyahu. I despise Netanyahu. Oh, Nikki's dropping out. Nice. Okay. I despise Netanyahu. He's so fucking, he's such a gross, monstrous piece of shit. But he's also so incredibly arrogant. Okay? He's so unimaginably fucking arrogant. It's this like air of arrogance that I see from so many ultra Zionists. Like ultra-nationalist Israel defenders, where they're just like, you're going to rue the day. You're going to rue the day that you said this about Israel and its right to defend itself. It's like, it makes me, it angers me so much. So much. A sense of impunity, exactly. And that impunity, for the record, is obviously well-deserved in some ways. It's well-deserved as a consequence of the American government always rushing to defend Israel's actions. The sense of entitlement that he has to be like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? You're going to say that we're fucking, doing a genocide? Oh yeah? You'll see. You'll rue the day. It's like, shut up, bitch. You're a fucking villain. You're a villain. You're a goddamn villain. Mr. Netanyahu added in a separate statement that Mr. Lula has disgraced the memory of 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis and demonized the Jewish state like the most virulent anti-Semite. Danny Dayan, the chairman of Yad Vashem, Israel's Holocaust Memorial. Oh my God, dude! This New York Times article is just literally like, it's just, it's so fucking annoying. Anyway, Lula called the Brazilian ambassador in Israel back to the country. By the way, after this back and forth occurred. So that's another thing that happened. Israel says the Brazilian president is not welcome in the country after he compared Israel's war to Gaza and the Holocaust. And the battering ram will be out for anyone that even defends Lula for anything that he said here, for the record. Anyway, and this will be like, this will run its course in Western media that operates in the exact same way that reactionaries operate when they're in a position of vulnerability. Okay? Just remember, what do the right wing always do in America? Oh, are we under attack? Let's say Roy Moore, for example, is like credibly accused as a pedophile. Can't even go to the fucking mall, his local mall, because he used that mall to like be a predator to young girls. Okay, well, we're gonna still vote for him, but we have to find an out real quick. And what do the reactionaries do in that situation? They fucking turn around. They double down on defending Roy Moore while simultaneously saying, no, you. You actually have sex pests. Al Franken lost his position as a consequence of this exact same thing that I'm talking about. Okay? And this is the same with defending Israel at this stage. Okay? Everybody kind of deep down understands that what Israel is doing is an unimaginable wrong. It is unjust. It is completely unacceptable. So what do? You can't admit that it is unjust and completely unacceptable because you want to defend Israel no matter what. So you look for any out you can. Say that like, oh, well, don't talk about Israel's baby murder campaign. Don't talk about all the hospitals that Israel has like gone into. Don't talk about any of that. Talk about what? Oh, what if the Al Ahli hospital that Israel had bombed 2 days prior, what if that actually wasn't an Israel bombing campaign? What if that was a Palestinian Islamic Jihad? Let's talk about that for a fucking week. Let's greatly reduce the confidence that already barely existed for any Palestinian authority. Let's reduce that into nothingness. Let's have the American president say that he does not trust the Palestinian Health Ministry's numbers. Okay? And it's a very successful method. We talked for weeks about Harvard President Claudine Gay for not being sufficiently pro-Israel in a congressional hearing, even though she is a Zionist. Okay? She had to resign in disgrace due to a very openly stated media campaign. I don't even like her. Okay? And yet, we moved on. All the while, it was all the naysayers, or rather, not even necessarily the naysayers, but it's just like people who weren't even like sufficiently pro-Israel enough, kept getting put in the fucking meat grinder. Imagine yapping like this in a foreign country. I don't know what you mean by this. Yeah. Israel has lied every step of the fucking way from October 7 down to every single day. And Israel will continue lying tomorrow. Okay? In an effort to wholesale defend its ethnic cleansing campaign in Gaza. And the Western media is absolutely complicit. Shouldn't the left also have a meat grinder? There is no mechanism for meat grinding on the left. That's crazy. No, he doesn't mean I'm in America, so stop using your freedom of speech. He's talking about this woman who went to Japan and was like raging at the pro-Palestinian protests in Tokyo, which is an insane thing to do. You should have some fucking sense of decency and shame. What do I mean when I say the West is complicit? What I mean is liberal media covering issues like this, covering articles in this with this angle. Okay, covering articles with this angle, only talking about like how unimaginable it is and how this is not even a comparison you should ever make whatsoever. Like writing this article with as an objective, neutral party, which is what the New York Times is like. You know, this is not the editorial board. This is literally just a straightforward news piece. And from the jump, this news piece immediately is like is slanted in a way that is against Lula. No such smoke ever exists for the many lies that Israeli officials tell over and over again. Okay? And under the guise of objectivity, the media launders pro-Israel talking points and pro-Israel positions. It is completely unacceptable. It is gross. It's incredibly fucked up. And overall, I don't know what more I can say about it. It's just, I wish for karmic justice. That's all it is. This protester went too far. That protester marched outside of a hospital or whatever the fuck. And it's always like every single fucking day. Every single day. It's like, what's more important? A protester saying some out-of-pocket shit, or the IDF, the Israeli occupying forces, entering yet another hospital. The IDF, the Israeli occupying forces, saying that you have until Ramadan's beginning to basically come to our terms on the ceasefire, terms that are non-negotiable, non-starters, the ones that Israel has suggested. By the way, the Hamas side of the fucking bargain is very much understandable. You barely hear about that, though, on the Western media. Okay? Threatening the lives of the remaining millions of civilians living in the southernmost point of the Gaza Strip at Rafah. If you do not negotiate on our terms, we will kill every single one of you. All of your friends, all of your family members, we will continue our ethnic cleansing, which we haven't really stopped at all. And yet, not a peep of that from the Western media. All the while, they're cataloging their genocidal intent every single fucking day. And it doesn't matter. It's a flex at this point. And the media is complicit for spending so much time on shit like this. Oh, Lula said this, and he's really fucked up for saying this. The UN is Hamas. Everybody's Hamas. Everyone against Israel is Hamas. Meanwhile, Israel's denying the two-state solution, doing genocidal actions. Doesn't fucking matter. Biden is like asleep at the wheel completely. It's really, really sad. It's really fucked up. Here, I'll show you this and then we'll move on. Bro, imagine going to Tokyo to yell at Japanese people, the small amount of Japanese people that are like pro-Palestine. That's crazy. She hurt. Dude, live your life, man. You're in one of the greatest cities on the fucking planet. Go live your life. Go live your life, dumbass. Go have fun. What the fuck's wrong with you? Anyway. It's just like, how do you do this? It's like going to Disneyland and being bummed the whole fucking time. Fucked up. You fucked up, lady. Anyway, I must have missed the Skull and Bones stream. No, not yet. I'm gonna do it. This lady crying while ADF can't stop making these TikToks. Yeah, look at this shit, dude. Israeli soldiers are mocking starving Palestinian civilians in Gaza while they themselves enjoy lavish meals and inscribe messages on bombs to facilitate further mass killings. And the song that they're playing is the genocidal one that even calls out fucking the real villains of society, of course. The real villains in Israeli society, Bella Hadid and Gigi Hadid.